Tills, Ogs, thanks for joining me this morning. How are you both? Good?
Yeah, good mate, all good.
Yeah. Business end of the season, how are you finding the run-in so far into the last 10 games?
Yeah, obviously enjoyable, like we're at the right end of the table, so we're looking up, trying to push on now for playoffs. And yeah, as you said, there's not many games left now, so every game's a cup final really. But now we're excited and looking forward to it.
Yeah, does the pressure feel constant because of the need for results, or is it literally just taking it game by game, would you say, both of you?
I'd probably say game by game really. Like Saturday we put to bed now, now we're focusing on this Saturday to get results. So yeah, I think just take every game one by one, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose the important thing is the performance level was still pretty good and we had enough chances to get something on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously I watched the game on Saturday, I didn't play, so but yeah, watching from the side we actually played well. I think it was just little moments that cost us the game really. Obviously they hit an unbelievable strike, and that obviously puts you on the back foot, but no, I thought the overall performance was good. Just unfortunate on the day that we went on to lose. So
I've spoken to some of the lads earlier in the season. They've spoken about watching it from that high up. Was it different for you to see different things to what you'd see at pitch level? Yeah,
definitely. Obviously you can see everything. It's easy to sit up there and be like, oh, I'd have done that or whatever, but when you're actually down on the pitch it does feel a lot different. But yeah, no, it was good to watch, to be fair, because you can see like what we've been working on in the season and we're putting it into play. Yeah,
you've both spent a lot of time starting games this season, but you've also spent time out of the team. Has that been a nice challenge for you guys to force your way back in?
Yeah, 100%. I would say that competition's good. I think that always pushes you to be better every day in training, be better in matches, treating every match like your last one, because you've got someone right behind you wanting the shirt as well. So I think that competition is very good for the team, because you can see now that we have basically a completely new team to the first half of the season, and lads are coming back now, and there's going to be even more competition for places, and the lads will be pushing each other every day.
Yeah, same for you, Tills?
Yeah, definitely. It's obviously, we've got competition for places in this team, so it's, you've got to be on your game every game to keep your shirt really, and I think that's what you need in a team that wants to push and try and get promoted. Yeah,
definitely. So you guys have started a coaching business, I understand. Just tell me what came up with the idea and where did that sort of start for you both?
Yeah, so I think me and Ogs, obviously we were both looking to start like an online business in football coaching. We wanted to obviously use our like years of experience being trained by like the best coaches and strength and conditioning coaches, and try and use our knowledge to help other people really who are aspiring to be like professional footballers. And yeah, obviously we came together and thought that we could like have an idea and try and put it into like a little thing that we'd start together. So
class. And you both have come through different academies when you were younger. Where do you feel like there's a gap maybe in the coaching setup? Would you say that there's a gap that maybe players aren't fulfilling their potential because something needs to be worked on a bit more?
I think, mainly for me, I'd say that I think it's just mainly about getting out by yourself, getting people out by themselves to train by themselves and to self-motivate, because I think nowadays it's okay doing the one-on-ones in real life, face-to-face, but I think now when you're getting older, say lads 14, 15, pushing for scholars, they need to be able to do their stuff away from home, do it by themselves to motivate themselves to be better, to become better footballers, better human beings. And I think just the self-motivation to be better, to become better.
Yeah, I think like obviously to be a professional footballer it's hard. Like you see a lot of kids coming in through academies and stuff, and then they just fall out of the game. I think they've got to know that you've got to do extra really. Like you have to. Like if you want to make that step up and be a professional footballer, you need to be out doing extra, working hard by yourself, not doing when people don't see. That's the thing. So we want to try and help people, because obviously they're not going to know what they need to do really from that young age. Even if you haven't been in an academy, like you need to know what different things to do, like exercises and drills or whatever, to improve your game. So yeah, that's what we want to do and try and help people.
Are you looking into sort of the mentality side of football as well? Because there's a lot, as you said, there's a lot of pressure put on these kids when they're in academies, and then also when they move into the first team, you have stuff like social media, fans' opinions, that kind of thing. How would you try and get young players to deal with that, having been through it yourselves?
I think it just comes with growing up, really. I think that when you're 15, 16, I think sometimes people think it's too late to get into academies, it's too late to become a professional footballer, but I think if you have the mindset to never give up, I think that anything's possible. And just on like the social media side of things, I think that it just comes with being a footballer, because at the end of the day we're entertainers for fans week in, week out, so I think that there's always going to be opinions, but it's just those opinions who you choose to listen to, and I think there's only probably your mum and dad and the gaffer whose opinions really matter towards you, so
yeah.
I think that just on that, I think that you just need to block out any other noise, especially negativity, and don't get too high, and also don't get too low as well when you're doing well.
Listen, you know what it's like, a lot of people say, oh, you know, when footballers get towards the end of their career, oh, they're going to look into going into coaching, punditry, that sort of thing. But you two are still very young in terms of footballers' ages. What made you think that this stage of your careers would be the right time to look into something outside of the pitch?
Yeah, I think obviously the earlier you start, by the time you finished, you could have made something like good by then. So I think starting it now, like, just build the foundations and that, get it going. You never know what can happen, really.
Yeah, I think for me as well, I think just the spare time we have outside of football as well, like, it's hard to fill that up, especially when sometimes you finish early from football, you go home and there's nothing to do apart from sit and watch TV or go to the gym. So I think that doing this gives you an extra thing to do in your life, and it's also helping people out as well, and that's obviously what me and Tills like to do, help people out and see people thrive.
It's interesting. What's the best bit of coaching advice you'd say you guys have received in your careers?
Don't know, really. That's a tough one. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Would you? That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I don't know. Yeah.
I'll adjust the question. Sorry to interrupt. Who's had the biggest influence on you both then? In terms of, like, you've looked at them, you've listened to what they've said, and you said, oh, yeah, they're right, and when you've taken their advice on board, it's helped you.
I'd say probably when I was back in Brighton, when I was growing up, obviously coming through the academy, I think one of my coaches then, he's called Paul Holder, he always told me you need to work on what you're good at. So say you're a good finisher, you need to keep working on that. Instead of going off of something, so say you've got a coach telling you need to be better defending than you're a striker. It's not really, obviously you need to get better at knowing what you need to do defending wise, but you need to keep working on what you're good at. Like, so keep working on that finishing to make yourself that level above everyone else, do you know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I probably took away.
And yours?
I think just the saying, never get too high, never get too low, especially like when you're doing well in the team, you can sometimes get in that mindset, oh, this is my shirt now, this is my place, where you still got to work for your shirt every time you're on the pitch. And I think when you do start to get comfortable in situations, that's when you start to make mistakes, that's when you start to go off script. So I think that saying is really important for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I touched on it earlier, you know, you've both started a lot of games but also spent time on the bench. How do you take that when you find out you're not in the team? Is it tough to take sometimes?
Yeah, obviously it's frustrating, you want to play every minute, but I think it's just part of football, really. Like, I've been through it like enough times when you get dropped from the team or whatever for whatever reason. It's football at the end of the day. It just makes you want to work harder to get yourself back in the team. That's how I feel anyway.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah, and you've come on quite a lot since you had your first breakthrough season last season. How do you feel like you've improved this season?
I think I've improved in the sense where I'm playing more games, I'm getting longer runs of games, but yeah, I just think I've probably improved physically, and what I'm mainly trying to improve when it's going forward as well, because the modern day fullback nowadays isn't just defending, it's going forward as well. And I think that from last year to this year, I think mainly probably improved going forward, but obviously there's always room for more improvement. And I think that as a defender as well, you need to, as Tills was saying, master what you probably think that you're already good at as well. I think 1v1 defending that I still need to improve in that, because you can be better every day. You don't want to let wingers get past you. That's what you pride yourself on, clean sheets and everything like that. So yeah.
I suppose you're encouraged more to attack down the right, because earlier in the season when we were 4-4-2, Tills obviously left-footed, drives inside a bit more, opens up that space for you really.
Yeah, I would say so. But I think the main thing in this team is just getting obviously the players who can do the most on the ball, like Tills, our wingers, our strikers, getting them on the ball in dangerous situations to create chances. And I think that's what, as a team, we've probably been good at this year, getting our creative players on the ball to create more chances, and that's why we're scoring more goals. And that's obviously why now, also as defenders, that we're keeping more clean sheets as well, because we're able to stay in that tight unit, that tight shape, when we give our best players the ball. So yeah.
And Tills, obviously you started on fire this season. Do you feel like there's some sort of like maybe unfair pressure at times where people are just like, almost expecting you to score every game?
Nah, I wouldn't say unfair pressure, because I like that pressure. Like that's myself. I want to score goals. Like I want to score every game, and obviously sometimes don't work like that.
Yeah.
But no, I think I don't know really. I just keep working hard and just trying to score, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that.
Do you feel like defenders are changing how they defend against you because of the threat that you've posed this season and the goals you scored, maybe?
Well, I guess teams do their homework, so maybe they want to stop me from coming inside now or whatever. That's just football. Like that's you try and nullify the other teams what they're good at really. But yeah, it's just you just got to adapt and try and play a different way, I guess.
Yeah. And then just to finish, I've been asking lots of players around this time of the season, how much does it mean to you both to achieve something with this football club this season?
Well, I think it means a lot to me, because obviously being there from young, been there for a lot of years now, so I think growing up watching the first team, maybe in the past few years we haven't been doing as well as we should have been, and maybe the fans and us as players say that we haven't been a proper Wimbledon side. But this year I think that we're showing that we're a proper Wimbledon side, and to get something out of this year would be great. And I think just mean the world to me, as I've been there from young, I know what it means to the fans, the club, and I think means the world to me.
And Tills?
Yeah, I think obviously everyone wants to get promoted and win stuff. That's the main thing. That's why you start. That's why you play football. You want to win everything, really. And obviously it means so much to the fans. So we'd love to do it for them. But yeah, we'll just keep pushing and hopefully make the playoffs and win the playoffs.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
best of luck with the rest of the season, lads, and best of luck with the new venture.
Cheers,
thank
mate.
you.
Thank you very much.